Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of my Gateway Experience. Wow, man, so the purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. The Gateway Experience is a series of 6 waves with 6 tapes in each wave, and I am currently on the second wave entitled Threshold, and I am on the first tape of that wave entitled Introduction to Focus 12. What can I say? If you haven't seen any of my other videos, go ahead and check those out because this experience builds upon itself. It's good to have a good reference point. You can also just watch this video if you want. It's up to you. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I do want to thank you for joining me here in today's video. And let's jump straight into it. Right now, it is October 8th, 2022. It is a Saturday and it's 9:32 a.m. Last night I went to sleep at like 11. This morning we all woke up out of bed at 8 a.m. And as you can see, I'm still yawning. It has been a slow morning and it has been a busy few days recently. So I feel like I'm going slow, but there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's even better than going too fast. So when I woke up at that time, I did my morning routine. Then I went ahead and did my experience for the day. And I fell asleep. I went into Focus 10 and then I woke up at the end. So it's supposed to be body asleep, mind asleep, or mind alert and awake, but it was more like body asleep, mind asleep. But that's okay because today I want to talk about the change that I have gone through. Oh, man, excuse me. Um, that's what Bob starts this tape with. He starts by congratulating us and by telling us a few insights in life. Obviously, he was much older and he started doing his out of body experiences in his 40s after, or maybe towards the end of his career. And I think there's a lot of wisdom to be had. I think that some people say things like, hey, go to uh, an old people's home and talk to them, and you'll find that a lot of them have regret in their eyes and in their voice. They tell you, I regret not living life to the fullest. I regret this. I regret that. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have some reckless fools dying young because they use that as their motto. Oh, no regrets, no regrets. Then they just make a bunch of mistakes. It's like they're purposefully trying to convince themselves that they have no regrets. And that's like avoiding their feelings, really. Because there's certain things we all make mistakes, right? And I think the way to learn and become wise in life is to learn from the mistakes of others and really garner the wisdom that is to be had. So, I think that's where Bob steps in, and I think he's doing a great service for all of us through those tapes of the Monroe Institute's Gateway experience. And, excuse me, um, yeah, it is powerful. And so, with this tape, the main lesson is that, hey, it's not so much about somebody telling you that you're more than your physical body. It's not about you believing that you're more than your physical body. It's not about you reading that you're more than your physical body. It's about knowing and experiencing it. And since today I fell asleep, what I want to do is share with you some of the changes that I've had due to this experience. You know, we're on episode 45. That's 45 consecutive days, a month and a half. And I've talked about this before in some of my other videos, but today I really want to share with you that I won't take up too much time. As you can see, I'm tired and still waking up apparently. So that's part of it though. I I'll start with my own relationship with myself. As I've talked about it before, it's not so much about having a relationship with yourself. It's about being yourself. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and not having duality. So being an individual. That's something that I've gathered from this experience. If you go back to my release and recharge tapes, I talk about my fears and things that I went through growing up and things that I've overcome. And the way we did that was by noticing that energy and transmuting it and letting it go, right? So that's like the first thing. But then that has allowed me to show up differently in my relationship with others so that I don't bring any of that fear into my relationships. All I'm bringing is the expansive force of love. So, and really, life is all about relationships. So, now that I'm being 100% myself and I'm comfortable being myself, I'm not afraid of what other people think or any of this other stuff. I know that I am enough, then I have more than enough. So my family is no longer chaotic. My son is eating. He was like not eating, and he's also growing, so he's going to sleep by himself. My daughter is doing amazing. She's growing and she's walking around all over the place. She's not just crawling. My wife is happier, and I'm taking care of her and making sure that I respect her feelings. And uh, also, out of that, you know, my business life has improved dramatically. Um, I'm making better decisions, so I'm thinking more long term, and my income has doubled, literally. Since I do contractor work, uh, it's much more flexible than just working for a boss. It's really all about relationships and the job that you provide. And so when you do a really good job for one person, they notice that and that spreads. And so, um, yeah, it has been a great journey. And I want to say it's only been a month and a half, so, and that's amazing when I think about that because it feels like so much longer and because of all the growth. And I owe it all to this tape, the Monroe Institute's Gateway experience. I'll talk about some of the things like before I found this tape and before I found the tapes, all of them, and I've gone through them in order. I was like not balanced mentally. And this is another thing that I've learned, and the mentor that I've come across, and I suggest you guys check him out. His name is Mark Passio. He's got a lot of great information. It's not like everything he says is perfect, but the things that he says that are really powerful are um, the balance of the hemispheres. And that aligns directly with the Monroe Institute's gateway experience because it's called hemisync, hemispheric synchronization, the hemispheres of our brain. So synchronizing them together. And, uh, and obviously the tape does that for you, but it's also even more powerful when you can become conscious of the change that is happening. And I think that's what Mark Passio has done. And looking back, now I can see where I was going wrong. I was in a left brain imbalance, and I was also in a right brain imbalance. So, meaning left brain is much more analytical, and right brain is much more creative. Well, I was going back and forth between the two, literally, and I don't know why, but my I was always growing up. I was always in a left brain imbalance, and the things that can happen with that is like dominating, not paying attention to emotions, being apathetic and outright psychopathic. And the right brain is creative, but to the point where it's all creative and no action because that's the masculine part. So the main thing is to really synchronize both hemispheres and to be creative but also have the action behind it. And most people are in this imbalance. Now that I'm looking at it, most people are either an integrator or a visionary. And visionaries are right brain imbalance, and integrators are left brain imbalance. And the main thing is everybody should have both. And it's so rare when you read the book Rocket Fuel, he talks about it. It's like, hey, this is so rare for anybody to be both. Well, everybody should be both because everybody should be balanced. Nobody should just be taking orders, meaning the integrator, from the visionary and not questioning any of the orders. And also, nobody should be giving orders as a visionary and not doing any work themselves. I think the best way to lead is from the front lines, you know? So I think that that's powerful. And the way that I was doing that before is when I was sober, I think because of the way that I grew up, I was always in a left brain imbalance. And then I would just smoke a bunch of marijuana to get into a right brain imbalance. And I think that's what marijuana helped me with because it helped me get out of my left brain. But now with this tape, all my entire life has transformed in a month and a half. And with these tapes, with the Monroe Institute's Gateway experience. And it's because now I really know that I'm more than my physical body without being reliant on a steroid, as I like to call it. And I've talked about it in my previous videos as well. Like going to the gym and doing steroids, yeah, you'll get faster results creatively with like entheogenic compounds. And that's not to say that they're negative, like I said in my other videos. It could, even I just said it right now, it helped me a lot get out of my left brain imbalance. So, yeah, that's just to say this experience is much more holistic, it's much more powerful, it is much more long term, and it allows us to really understand and to know who we are and what we are, and to transform our lives, to really create change in our own lives, as I've stated and I've experienced myself. And moving forward, I'm looking forward to doing more and helping more people and providing more for my family and assisting my son in whatever he wants to do and assisting my daughter in whatever she wants to do and supporting them. And I know life is not easy, but it's much easier when you learn from others' mistakes and you apply those lessons on your day-to-day life through practice and through discipline. But I can't make anybody else want this. You have to want it for yourself, and you have to look for it for yourself and practice it for yourself. Make that time, cut that time out, invest in yourself, be yourself, and make time for yourself. So, I think that's going to do it for today's video. I would love to interact with people. I would love to share these messages. I think I might invest more time in these videos, but for now, I like the way I'm doing it. It doesn't require much effort, and I can pour myself into the other aspects of my life that I'm also growing. So, yeah, today's going to be a good day, full day, and until next time, I will see you guys soon.